And of course, there's time for everything under the sun. A time to be born, a time to get to work, and a time to seek for that dream job of yours. This is The Job Show with Abimbola Adewale on The Job Show in New York City. Today on the program, we definitely have a guest here that will be looking critically into a state that we all considered as the heartbeat of the country in terms of manufacturing, productions, and agriculture. But let me have a rundown of what my guest will look like today. My guest was born in Sokoto on the 13th December 1990 to the family of His Royal Majesty Eze Uzo Nwosu JP and Professor Ngozi Nwosu. My guest holds a BSc in Mathematics and MSc in Investment and Finance. He's certified national accountant and, of course, Oracle certified expert as we speak. He had his work experience with the federal ministry in Abia State and later in Abuja. My guest is 30 years old and he feels that he's not too young to lead and take the people of Abia State to the promised land. Obinna Nwosu, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure to have you on the show. This is The Job Show. I don't know if you've heard about The Job Show or this is your first experience talking to The Job Show.
This is my first experience talking to The Job Show.
Okay, we are definitely based in New York. We talk more about job creation, entrepreneurship, and all of that.
Wow.
This is going to be 30 minutes. I had not to break, and I expect that you put it together so that people at home can definitely have an idea, and the people of Abia State can see you from a different perspective. Let's get down to the business of today. Let me start by saying that I read your profile, and sincerely, when I read your profile, I felt that I've not really done so much considering my age. You are young, and you have done so well for yourself. It says here, you are 30 years of age and you feel you're not too young to lead and take the people of Abia State to the promised land. Tell me, why do you feel you're not too young to take the people of Abia State to the next level?
Well, first I want to start off with saying this. Leadership is not really a thing about age. It's a thing about heart. It's a thing about passion. It's a thing about criteria. There are criteria needed for one to have an ability to lead a people. And age is not one of it. You need to have the heart, you need to have the vision, you need to have the compassion and the willingness to serve, and bring people together. So there are these criteria needed to lead, in which I do believe that at 30 years old, I have these criteria needed to lead the people of Abia State. So I'm not too young to lead, not at all.
Okay. We can't be talking about Abia State without talking about Aba. Everybody that have an idea of Aba, we all know that Aba happens to be this city in the southeast of Nigeria, and a commercial center of Abia State, and I want to take it further by saying the commercial center of the country, at large. When I was growing up, when you buy a product, there are two things that will come out of your mouth. Probably you say, is this Aba made or American made? So consciously or unconsciously, the name Aba has registered to people's mind as a manufacturing hub, commercial hub of the country, and there's no way we're going to start talking about the present governor of the state. I was reading when he said they had partnership with the African Development Bank to help boost job creation and enhance livelihood in Aba. Tell us about your intention with Aba as a city.
Wow, Aba is one of the most fascinating cities in Nigeria, in Africa, actually. So this is a city that holds great potential. But then, for myself, because a lot of people look at my profile and they say he works with a federal ministry. Actually, I work with the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, and I work under occupational safety and health. And given my experience studying mathematics, it gives me that leverage to work in almost every institution has a room for someone who studied mathematics. So I took that opportunity to work with OSH, Occupational Safety and Health. And what we do is we go around factories and then we supervise their activities to ensure that they work in line with the Factories Act. So that is me right there. So when I talk about Aba, the 3 years I spent working in Abia State, most of our activities were in Aba because as the factories are mostly there. If you look at Abia State, let's say 90% of the factories in Abia State are based in Aba. So for me, it's a city that I'm very, very familiar with. And when I look at it, I see a city that is doing well, but it's not meeting up to its expectation. There's something about funding. There's something about equipping to boost capacity because capacity is below what we can do. We can do actually much more than what we are doing in Aba. And some of these things can be boosted by fixing infrastructure. I've seen a lot of factories, though we have so many factories in Aba, there are many that have been closed down. And part of my inquiries during this process, I found out that a lot of things that affected many of these factories was infrastructure. Some of them was the roads. The roads have affected some factories. They had to close down. Some of them was as a result of maybe the electricity situation. There are certain factories that you struggle to run on generator. So you need electricity and all. So these are some of the things that if put in place, Aba can really maximize its potential and do a lot more than what we are doing and give better output to Nigerians at even a better price.
Okay, one of the interesting things you talked about is the better output to Nigerians, which I believe so much about the spirit of Aba. You know, I've been there. You know, I've visited Aba several times when I was in the country, and I must tell you, is if only the government can see what can come out of that city, you know, to the rest of the world, we will not be here talking about employment anymore. Having said that, let me take you back to what you already know. As it says, Abia State currently has the fourth highest unemployment rate in Nigeria, 31.8% according to MBS 2018, with the youth unemployment rate almost double that rate with a population of over 3.7 million people as of 2016. Tell me about the unemployment rate that you know of, since you do work with the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment. Talk to me.
No, the issue is when you talk about the Abia State, now you are talking Abia State in general. Now, my observation in the state, what is very clear to me is the state currently has a lot of sleeping sectors. In as much as we can talk about boosting the manufacturing sector and the industrial nature of the people, there are sectors that if these sectors are not functional, then there'll still be problems with job creation. The great novelist Chinua Achebe once said that in the household of every great man, you find people who can dance to every tune. So it is not enough that we channel all our eggs into manufacturing. Why this unemployment is high in the state is that these sleeping sectors, we have a lot of sleeping sectors, which when we talk about tourism, Abia State has enormous tourism potential. When we look at the Ojukwu Bunker, the War Museum, the Amakama Wooden Cave, even the Area International Market, it's also a commercial tourism sector. So the tourism aspect of Abia State has to be opened up. The night economy in Abia State has to be opened up. We look at the state where most times you see maybe for the keke napep operators, you see by 8 o'clock, in fact, sometimes 7 o'clock, they stop operation. So you cannot shut down the night economy. Looking at, let's say, London, for example, the night economy is an economy that creates, from the last time I checked, about how many? 726,000 jobs. This was pre-COVID. I don't know after COVID. So as of 2019, the night economy in London creates 726,000 jobs and adds value of over 26 billion pounds in London alone. So we cannot afford to shut down the economy at night, because one thing about the night economy, it brings up night shifts. When you shut down the economy at night, you disable night shifts. Now you look at, like if you come to Abuja, you see keke napep operators function by 1. Then in Abia State, by 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, you shut them down. So by the time you shut all this down, you cripple the night economy. This has been going on for a long time now. And when you cripple the night economy, you cripple the night shifts. So let's say, for example, a pharmacy that is supposed to maybe function 24 hours, by shutting down the night economy, 24 hours mean you might have 2 or 3 shifts. You have left it at 1 shift. By leaving it at 1 shift, now you are taking down jobs, and this affects so many places. So something that we need to do in Abia State is open up the night economy. I'm someone who vividly disagree with the keke restriction, in as much as I'm not the person that make the decision. I believe if we can reopen the night economy, if we can open the tourism sector, we have the IT sector, Finch Tech, we have a lot of dormant sectors that we can do much better. And by opening this, we create thousands and thousands of jobs. From my observation, I look at Abia State and I see a state that can easily add 100,000 tier leader jobs, 100,000 new jobs by opening up dormant sectors. Because right now we are known mostly for just the Aba and everything, while we also have other places where we are very good at, that if we open this up, we can create new jobs, thousands and thousands of new jobs for our youth, and also bring revenue to the state, foreign revenue and local revenue as well. So this is my view about unemployment in Abia State is so high because we have so many sleeping sectors, dormant sectors,
Okay, let me ask you this. Since you have the privilege, or you have experience working with the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, and you also have the ambition to lead the people of Abia State, has there been any visible projects that you have done as Obinna Nwosu from your home to see that people are elevated from poverty as an indigenous of Abia State?
The job I do in itself, is almost like, as you know, not for now. Not in the private sector. I am someone who have this passion for serving the people. That is why I decided in my heart that I want to be in the public service. Public service is my thing. I love people's service. So this is this is me. So I'm someone that what I do in itself is public service. But like you said, I still have in place intention to do a lot more. Different avenues. Now I'm still young family. I'm trying to, I'm not someone who has lived the full life. So there's still a lot. Certainly, there's still a lot I believe I can do. And with time, we are already putting motions in place to do even more for the people.
Okay, that sounds nice, because the love of the people is really the reason why people should serve the people, Let me ask you, we can't be talking about your intention, we can't be talking about the plans you have for the beautiful people of Abia State without talking about the past and the present administration that has led the people of Abia State to where it is as of today. In your own view, can you give us an assessment of the past administrations and the present administration in terms of job creation?
One thing I believe is on that situation, I don't want to come up and compare, because the past administration and the present administration are still within the same party. They are still within the same party. So there are functionalities, some should I say, rules, regulations with the past administration still flowed in to the present administration. So they have performed within their capacity. Something I said is part of my mission is I'm not coming up with a mission of criticism. No, I'm trying to let the people know that there's a higher height we can go. Some of these they have performed maybe within their capability, or they are performing at their range. I'm trying to tell the youths that, look, there's a higher height. There's higher level that we can get to. So I don't want to go into that comparison or criticism also, because they are still within the same party. So that's my response.
Okay. Would you get your view and respect for your position? However, we also wanted to talk a bit about the present administration. The truth is that you can't be running for an office. That's the highest office in that land, You can't be running for such office without getting soft, criticism, about you. And one thing we can say is just get ready, put on a very thick skin, because they definitely will be coming to you as well. In the scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the present administration in terms of job creation?
That's a tricky question. From the recently published publication from the NBC, it says Abia State, is unemployment. I think Abia State is it the fourth or fifth from the downside. Yes, when it comes to unemployment.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Believe me, that's a lot.
Yes. So, and what I basically say, because my candidacy is, I want the best for Abia State. I want the best for Abia State, and what I'll say is the reason for this, like I say, if you look at Abia State, you look at our WAEC ranking, you see that over the past 25 years, Abia State has been the only consistent state in the top 5. Every year you see our youths doing amazing work, top, if we're not first, second. So you have this high number of vibrant youths that are doing very well academically, high potential, but then they finish from school, finish from university, and they come up and they meet all this unemployment. This is because, like I said, there are sleeping sectors. Everybody cannot work in manufacturing, So in as much as I believe we must expand Abba to do even better than it's doing, put it, navigate it, set a clear roadmap. There's also a need to open up dormant sectors. This is one of the biggest concerns we have.
And that's, I shall have to go back to that question. Let me help you out a bit so that you don't get a bit nervous on it. The scale of 1 to 10, would you rate the present administration 4, 7, or 9?
Hello, you said? Come again, please.
The scale of 10, would you rate the present administration 4, 7, or 9? Because the truth is, Obinna, the truth is that I'm not trying to put you on the spotlight. The truth is that that office is the highest office in the state, like any other state. And people can't sit on the fence. I have a heart for Abia State because I've been to China. I've been to China and I see what China is. And for any right-thinking person, Abba can as well be China of Africa. So this is not a game.
Yes.
This is not a game. This is not the office of the governor is not a game where we can sit on the fence. That's why I'm asking you a very direct question that I need a very simple answer. How would you rate this present administration scale of 1 to 10? It's in terms of job creation. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm just talking about jobs. That's our business.
Okay. In that level, I might say 5.
Okay, 5. Fair enough. And that takes me to my second question. You talk about sleeping sector, which I agree with you on that. But you must also know that coming from your background, somebody that has worked with the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, what do you think about database? Do you have any plan creating database for job seekers, employees, entrepreneurship? Because one of the problems that we see in this part of the country where I am, statistics can tell you, the economists can tell you that 100,000 jobs has been created as our last month, We don't have that in Nigeria. We don't have that in any state in the country, And it's unfortunate that the MBS do come up with figures that I can't verify. It's hard for you to verify, but we do not have a choice. We must follow those figures, because those are the figures the government gave to us. We must work with those figures, So do you have intention of databases, how you need to keep record of this when you get to the office?
Certainly, most certainly. There's a plan for a database, because something I plan to do is to create jobs for as many of our youths as possible. Create jobs and get most of them within employment streets. And when those who are now out of the unemployment table, we should be able to know this. Because something that if I get there, I will not allow is for maybe random, if we don't have a table, a database to back up our employment and unemployment, for random numbers to be coming out from the maybe MBS, and sometimes we might question it, because I've seen some states, when the unemployment data came out, some states questioned and said this is not reflective of the situation in our state. So for us to put in place a system that will guarantee that we can monitor our youth. When youths create jobs, get jobs, we can track it, so that our numbers should tally with the number of any regulatory body or any data collection body, whether the NBS or so. So we should help them we should be able to help them with facts and figures to see the level of progress they made when it comes to job. So because we plan to create job, we plan to be able to show it. We don't just want it to be random stuff. We want this progress to be seen. We want it to be monitored and all. We plan to create thousands of new jobs for our team in youth.
Good day, everyone. I am Harrison Yakob, and I'm on Job Show TV. I'm here to talk about a platform I found, which is called Digicon. Alright, so Digicon is a platform that seeks to gather well-meaning professionals in the digital sphere that are also willing to transfer these digital skills to young, well-meaning individuals that are also looking forward to coming into the digital space. Alright. Apart from that, one of our dreams also is to help businesses become smarter. In Nigeria, especially, maybe because I'm in Nigeria, and sub-Saharan Africa. This is a brief of what we are into or what we intend to go into long term. Alright, so if you think this is a good fit for you as an investor, well, why not reach out to me on 081 7840 3767. I'll give that again, 081-7840-3767. I'll be glad to welcome your call and then have a brief chit chat about the business process. Actually, this business process has a blueprint. I'll be willing to share with you when you contact me, and then we'll talk about the terms and conditions. Thank you. God bless you. As I look forward to you coming in contact with me.
Okay, we're talking about job creation. We can't talk about job creation without talking about entrepreneurship, and we can't talk about entrepreneurship without talking about funding. And one of the good things I also read online is how the governor has been able to partner with our own president of the African Development Bank, talking about additional on job creation and all of that. What's the idea? What's your plan on funding the entrepreneurs?
Very, very crucial. Very, very crucial. For me, a percentage of the budget, of the state budget, will be directed to that. This is one of the essentials. There are certain things I call essentials, and the industrious nature of our people means that funding, for entrepreneurs is an essential. So a percentage of the budget, I cannot say a specific percentage right now, but certainly a percentage of the budget should be made available for public-private partnership, because there are certain things that will be better off when the private sector, also help regulate and navigate the process, so that this can be a smooth process and to limit the risk of loopholes. So a percentage of the budget should definitely be allocated for that. Although like I said, I will not be giving out a specific number say this percentage of the budget every year should go to support our growing entrepreneurs, because we sure do have a lot of them in Abia State.
Okay. There is nowhere in the world where insecurity will not determine the stability of an economy. Wherever in the world you have insecurity, then you cannot expect such economy to flourish. I'm concerned about the level of insecurity in the country as we speak, and it's becoming so alarming. It's as if there's nobody out there, taking charge of the security issues as we speak. What's your plan on security?
Well, something about Abia State when it comes to landmass. Abia State is around 6,300 kilometers square. So Abia State is not really one of the biggest states in Nigeria. Actually, it's one of the smallest. So it's a portable state. So in a situation for a state like Abia State, there certainly should be means to secure the state, given we can take advantage of our portability. In these situations, you look at the size, it's a state that can be well controlled with determination. So we plan to support the security officers, the security department, help them with surveillance. They need to be surveillance. One thing about Nigeria is sometimes we have events of insecurity occur and we struggle to find evidences to it. And so it's almost like they slip off, and with time they just die off. So unlike the maybe UK, USA, London, Europe, you see sometimes when some of these things happen, you can see evidence, video evidence, whether CCTV footage that shows where it started from. So like recently, I think it was it on Friday or Thursday, where they said a bomb was found, a detonating device was found in a primary school, and this is in Umuahia there. And Umuahia is a very small city, So in a normal situation, by now maybe some kind of evidence, would have been there to track, because in these cases of insecurity, if people behind it are not being found and tracked, you struggle to really tackle it on the long run. So something we plan to do is to equip, support, part of our CSR. You always see sometimes state governors donating cars or one or two stuff to the police. So for us, we will, if we get in there, we will donate the key stuff we feel that they need to perform effectively and be able to combat crime. Because part of what we plan to do, we need security. If you are going to fix things like night economy, you are going to fix things like the tourism sector, some of these key sectors that will bring in thousands of jobs, you need security, because without security, you cannot lay up investors and travelers, and so that's it. We plan to surveil. Like you look at Abia State, you look at Abia, Umuahia, Aba, Ohafia, and so some of these cities are small, are not so big of cities. Like maybe you talk about Kano, So and with this, we should use this as an advantage. It should be something that you can say, okay, given the size of the states, especially a lot of our states in the southeast, we should be able to at least guarantee a certain high proportion of security, a high level of security, given that we don't have that large of landmass.
Thank you so much. I like very detailed information. Let me ask you, what party platform are you running on?
That's a question that a lot of people have been really bothering about. Right now, it's still time for consultation. I've been contacted by quite a number of parties, but there are still factors that I'm looking into, because right now it's time for political consultations. In a few weeks, few months' time, you start getting politicians start deflecting from party to party. If you look at the last presidential election, the flag bearer of, let's say, the PDP. 2 years to the election, he was still a member of the APC. So the election is roughly 2 years away. A lot can happen, but for we now, we are making consultation, and in a few weeks or months' time, I will be announcing the party that I will be running under. Yes.
Okay, let me also, we have 3 more questions before I allow you to enjoy your day. My next question will talk about, is this for real? Because we've had so many young, aspiring young men that will come up and say, I'm running for an office. And before you know it, somewhere, somehow, they step down for the old players to take on the boat. Is your ambition for real?
For me, I'm 100% in this. I'm putting together a resuscitation plan. What we plan to do is Abia State, I believe, for a long time now, has been in need of a resuscitation. So for me, I'm working on this, putting a resuscitation, and there's no backing down. I'm 100% in this, and I have assured the thousands of people who are now believing in my candidacy that I will not disappoint them. I'm in this for the long run, and we are going to be there.
Okay. One of the things I also want to assure is that for every candidate, for every personality that believes in job creation, one thing we are sure is that we are giving our full support, because job creation is really the heartbeat of the economy of any country, and for you as young as you are, we do not have a reason where 90% of below 40 should not go in for you and make you the next governor as a support. We will definitely allow the people of Abia State to determine that and see how far you can go. But my next question is kind of, just take it easy on yourself. Let me ask you, we cannot talk about Abia State without talking about Ojukwu. We cannot talk about Ojukwu without talking about Biafra. Do you believe in one Nigeria, or you believe in Biafra?
For me, I don't know. I sent you a bit of my profile, and if you look at my upbringing, as you stated before the interview started, I'm someone who have traveled. I have traveled around Nigeria. At least I've been to at least 25 to 30 states in Nigeria, and I've gotten to travel around this country. And in the course of my traveling, I've met a lot of good people from every part of the country. And I believe that the problem with Nigeria is not necessarily the people. I'm not someone who goes on and say Igbos, Yorubas, Hausas. I've lived around, I've met these people. I've known that the issue that has troubled Nigeria for a long time, that sometimes creates all these agitations, is as a result of leadership failure. It's as a result of leadership. I don't, carry a group of people and condemn. So we have had moments in this country, both before and after the war, when agitations were very low, and we have had moments where agitations are very, very high. So this is the thing that I do believe in. If we can get leadership right, Nigeria, I'm not someone who will say I don't believe. I believe there's a Nigerian dream, though it's looking tacky for a lot of people. If we can get it right, I believe there's a thing called Nigerian dream that Nigeria can work for everyone.
Àti mọ̀ wọ́n
Okay, so you believe from the school of thought that Nigeria definitely should be one.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
In as much as I reason with the agitation of those who are agitating, some of them have valid agitations, and these agitations, if you look at the country, it's going round. It's now spreading to other regions that are also agitating. And if you listen to this, they are valid agitation. For example, the Niger Delta agitation, when the people of the Niger Delta was agitating, they had to, late President Yaradua came up with a brilliant, the amnesty program, that he came in and he listened to the people and he had the reasons for their agitations and he tackled it. And you see fewer of, in fact, almost very low rates of these agitations in the South. So that is it. Before then, the agitations were high. These agitations sometimes is valid. And when the people of Niger Delta were agitating, they had a valid agitation. They had a valid reason to agitate, yes.
Okay, we definitely need to wrap it up. And before I will allow you to leave, I also need to ask you that late last year, dived into this year, we had, we have like a wave, that went around all the 36 part of the state of the country. It's called EndSARS. And the drivers of this EndSARS are the youth. And fortunately for you, you are also 30. So they must have been speaking for you and the age that we talked about. In 30 seconds, what's your view about EndSARS?
Wow, my view about EndSARS is very strong because when you talk about police brutality, a lot of people, their experiences have been real, valid. A lot of Nigerians really had real reasons to agitate when it comes to that EndSARS. People have suffered police brutality, people suffered the extortion and all that. So it was a valid call, So I'm glad that the Inspector General of Police then took actions and he made the right decision. He made a good call to a certain level, in as much as there are still issues that people feel have not been concluded. There are still impending issues to be discussed about. But EndSARS is something that it's warranted because the Nigerian youth felt a lot of this had a valid reason to cry out, So a lot of youth had those experiences and we saw their stories, we had their stories. And,
Okay, then you in a recap of what you said, that leadership is about heart and willingness to serve the people, not of age. I really want to take that home. And you also talked about the 90% of factories in Abia State are based in Aba. That makes Aba real commercial hub of the state, and if not Africa at large. Then you also talk about the sleeping sectors. I intend to wake up the sleeping sectors and have the night economy, to come out and do positive effects on the economy. Those are the things you talked about, and I quite agree with you on your thought as well. I also want to say that to you that we are definitely going to be looking out for you, and we're going to give our support in terms of your intention to take the leadership of Abia State, as long as the job creation and entrepreneurship will definitely be one of your foremost drives to take the state to the next level as we speak. And my guest today has been Obinna Nwosu, born in Sokoto, 13 December 1990, to the family of Royal Majesty Abia Nwosu JP and Professor Ngozi Nwosu. He holds a bachelor degrees in mathematics and, of course, MSc in investment and finance, with other certificates such as Certified National Accountant and Oracle Certified Expert as well. He is 30 years of age and he is fired up to take the leadership of Abia State. Thank you so much. We'll definitely be looking out for your posters and the parties that you intend to run on. Abimbola Adewoye's name. We'll definitely be talking more on the job show. Thank you so much, Nwosu. Have a lovely day.
Thank you for having me, Abimbola. Thank you.